Right then, here we go again. Welcome back to Operation England. Do I have to do this? Do I have to talk about that? No, I don't have to, but I'm going to. If, like me, you just sat through that, well done. You made it. Denmark. Honestly, how have we made them look so good? And I don't mean that disrespectfully, but a lot of football these days, people like to look at it on paper. And you see the team sheets, you're like, wow, okay, Denmark, they've got some good individual players. They're a decent side. Right now they're ranked 21st in the world. I think it's actually updated recently. England are now 5th, by the way, somehow. You look on paper, which means nothing realistically. Sure, your team looks great. But what happens is England have a great team on paper, but then they just don't have a good team. It doesn't make any sense. We've got some of the best players in the world. I think that England side, and again, I'm referring to it on paper, okay? That team on paper could win the Premier League. It is that good of a team. They've got world-class players all over the pitch, right? For their clubs. But when it comes to putting on the England shirt, when it comes to Gareth Southgate setting up the team, it's just clueless. It was just another ball fest. So bad to watch. Denmark aren't a bad side, okay? So I really don't mean it disrespectfully, but we should be smashing Denmark. If we're going to win the Euros, or if we're going to go on to win a World Cup or whatever with this new golden generation, we're going to have to be beating top level teams. Yet we're getting, let's face it, outplayed at times by teams outside of the top 10, top 15, top 20. Some of the recent results that we've been getting, it's not good, guys, and it's really bad to watch. And I just... What I will say is, okay, I feel like the team isn't allowed to express themselves. To me, it looks like a team that are scared. It's almost as if Gareth is saying, right, guys, this is your position and this is your zone. I can picture him. He's got this whiteboard and he draws an area around each position and just says, you must not leave that area. And if you do, I'm going to leak your nudes online, or there's some form of blackmail going on, because honestly, to have such creative players, but to not see them be creative and have the chance to roam a little bit, where was the press as well? It's almost like they're not allowed to press either. You have to stay in your zone. Rule number 1 for Gareth Southgate: Bellingham mustn't exceed this area of the pitch. Saka, you're only allowed here, mate. That's it. The one goal we got today, and it was very lucky, actually. I think Christensen just completely switched off. Kyle Walker with, guess what? Pace. He's got pace. Let's use it. He gets in behind, and a little bit of a deflection, a little bit lucky, and then Harry Kane puts it away. And I'm thinking, wow, we might actually do something today. But then, as it's always the case with Southgate and England in the last half a decade, whatever, the last 3-4 tournaments, score early, defend. I mean, it literally is kick off, play somewhat okay, score, and then the rest of the game is a write-off, just defend, defend, defend. And I'll tell you what, Denmark did so well. They deserved to probably win today. They were the much better team. A little bit quiet from Højlund. I think Højlund should be doing more, if I'm being honest. He's a very good, young, talented player. But it was all about their midfield today. I thought Eriksen was class. Højbjerg, who can barely get in the Tottenham side, was brilliant today. He actually got man of the match. Arsenal fan, by the way. He's got an Arsenal tattoo. What a goal. That was a ridiculous effort. And we didn't look like we were going to really challenge them at all. Every time they got the ball in midfield, in defence, we just stood there. I don't understand. Okay, I'm going to use Arsenal as... what's the word I'm looking for here? As an example, I guess, just purely because I watch them all the time, okay? And it just so happens we've got quite a few Arsenal players in the England camp. 2 of them starting today, Declan Rice and Saka. Now, I can also use Foden as an example here, because City do the same as Arsenal, and a lot of teams around Europe do something, right? It's called pressing. When you don't have the ball, you go and get it. You go and get the ball instantly. No letting the team think. No letting the team breathe. You hit them. You just sprint straight at them. Saka, I could literally see it happening. He wants to go because it's just driven into the players at Arsenal. I know it is. It's absolutely driven into them. If you don't have the ball, go. Don't think about it. Don't look behind you. Go. You see it with Ødegaard. You see it with whoever's playing. Okay, it's just the ethos at the club. Drive at them. Same at City. Same at Liverpool. All the top teams do this. Saka wanted to go, and he would make a slight movement towards the ball and then go, team, hello, anyone? No one else was doing it. Declan Rice, who has been one of the best midfielders in the league, in the world this past season, presses like an animal. Most of the time, he does it almost like in a late, delayed fashion where he gets in front and then intercepts it. He's done it a few times for England already in this tournament, but he's having a stink. Today he had a stinker. He was awful. And I could tell, again, he wants to do it, but he's not allowed. I swear to you, he just isn't allowed. When you're being set up by your manager, they will ask you to do certain things, certain task. A certain task, maybe Rice in this case, he had to man mark, whatever. Don't go forward. Gareth Southgate might genuinely be saying, look, I know you press all the time for Arsenal. I know you do this, but don't do that for me. I don't want you to do that. That's why we've got Trent there. We've got blah, blah, blah. We've got Kane dropping and doing that, for Christ's sake. Rice just, I can see it. I feel for him because he's had a really bad game and he'll be so disappointed in himself because he never drops bad games. He just doesn't. He is always consistently a 7, 8, 9 out of 10 game player, but he just doesn't. He doesn't have permission, it feels like. But then I can't put all the blame on Southgate because, okay, sure, the tactics stink. It isn't very good. There's nothing stopping the players from actually grabbing the game a bit themselves and just, do you know what? Instigate something. Bellingham, world-class player. You see it at Real Madrid all the time. We saw it in the first game with his goal. Just go for it, mate. Who cares what Gareth says? I know you don't want to be disrespectful and all, but you can be a maverick. You can be the guy that wins us the game. And you might get off the pitch and Southgate will say, look, I really appreciate and respect that you want to take a man on and do this and do that. But not for me. You can just say, yeah, sure, boss. He's gone after this tournament. Make the most of it. If he's not gone by the end of this tournament, oh my God. If Southgate is managing England after this tournament, I'm not going to be pleased. I don't know what else to say other than it just feels like each player is shackled. Our best player this tournament has been Gehi, and he hasn't been exceptional. He's just been good. He's just been a typical centre-back, clearing headers, clearing tackles, and he lost the ball and won it back today with a great slide, a great recovery. Brilliant, well done. That's it, though. Is Harry Kane the man that should be up top? Of course he is. He's Harry Kane. He's the best striker. Why is he playing DM? Why is Kane constantly here? And then you see it, the players get on the ball and they're looking up and they're like, oh, there's nothing there. So what happens? Bellingham will try and fill in that gap. Foden cuts inside, then there's no left winger. Then you've got no Bellingham in midfield. You've got Kane just muddling everything up. And sure, it might work at Bayern. Yeah, it worked at Tottenham when you've got Heung-min Son playing as a second striker effectively. It might work for Bayern because they're so set up. They're set up brilliantly like that. Whether it's Tuchel, whether it's going to be company, they're going to be able to, I guess, give Kane the ability to do that. But Gareth Southgate can't. We're unable to allow Kane to do that. So someone needs to tell Kane, you're a number 9, mate. When you scored today, where were you? Oh, you're in the box. Funny that. Stop going in our own box. The moment Ollie Watkins came on, 2 chances almost instantly where I think maybe Kane wouldn't have been so quick to get to the ball and maybe those chances wouldn't have been the same. But it just showed straight away what a bit of movement and a proper number 9 positionally offers. We looked so much better. And even then, Ollie Watkins, it seemed like he was scared to really make any crazy runs and whatever. It was a great ball from, I think it was here, Bellingham just knocked it in behind and Ollie Watkins goes through and almost scores. And it was almost instantly. And I really appreciate Harry Kane as a striker because he's mental. He is so good, like one of the best finishers I've ever seen in the game. But we can't accommodate this dropping into midfield constantly. Trent, centre mid ain't it? I'm sorry. He's a great passer. And it's the kind of thing you hear pub football, like Sunday league football, like, yeah, just whack your best passer in midfield, it'll do. But we're ignoring the fact that he just isn't switched on enough. He can't defend to save his life. He's so average when it comes to sitting and waiting and sniffing out these dangerous passes. Someone like Declan Rice, who is so good at that, it just shows. Trent is a brilliant player, brilliant football player. If we're not going to play him at right back, don't play him at all. It is that simple. Kyle Walker is our best right back, fine. Trent should be off the pitch. Gallagher. Not so sure. Mainu, maybe? Are we going to rely on Mainu, who's been, let's face it, a revelation this season from November, December, whatever it was? I think for our third game, and don't forget, we're top of our group. We're going to go through if we draw, pretty much. I think we go Rice, Bellingham, and then Foden in the middle. Whoever wants to play at Cam. I don't think Foden was awful today, by the way, just still not good enough. But I just don't see how a Trent, a Gallagher, or whatever, just have Bellingham play a number 8 role. Rice can do the job of DM, and then you have a Palmer or whatever at Cam. Saka, Gordon, whoever. Ollie Watkins to start, though. That's what I want. I could go on all day about just how bad that performance was. Gareth Southgate, in the past, I've been very vocal about this, that I don't particularly rate him as a tactician, a coach, because he just isn't. He's a manager. He's fantastic at dealing with the players and making everyone happy. And we've never seen the group so close. They're all friends. And I've said many times before that after a tournament, he should leave. And I also said, I think he deserved this Euros because we've come close, haven't we? We came so close to winning the Euros last time. We've done pretty well in the last 2 World Cups to get where we got to. But this is it now. If we don't win the tournament, if we win the tournament, he's gone either way. That's how I feel anyway. Thanks for watching my review of today's game. I'm going to go watch hopefully, a really good game between Spain and Italy. 2 teams that have a coach. Yeah, a coach. Someone that can actually tactically set up their team to play good football and win a game. Because we ain't going to see that with England. And trust me, I hope we do. I hope in our third game, we see a completely different team. We smash it 5-1, whatever, and everyone's happy. But it ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen.